Hi all, Rob here from Way Out West. Last week I had the pleasure of having a chat to Mr. Eugene Hamilton. Eugene will be bringing his $1 million band, The Money, to Way Out West this Sunday, 11th of August from 2 p.m. I can guarantee it's going to be a funky, Memphis, countrified, Latin jazz, soul, boogaloo experience. This will be a party not to be forgotten. You'll know all the songs, but they're gonna be different. As always, please hit the like and subscribe button if you have not yet done so. And as always again, rock on my friends. Hey,
Shoot.
Eugene, what is your earliest significant music memory?
I think I remember being very, very impressed with Skyhooks and the way they dressed up and the way they looked and the way they wrote songs about Melbourne and how they were sort of, on the one hand, very down to earth suburban kind of songs, but on the other hand, they were presenting it in this high camp, sort of high glamour, sort of vaudeville style. I think that probably affected me a lot as a kid.
Yeah, I can see that. And so was there any inspiration for you to create that full-on funky, swampy, dancing Eugene Hamilton show apart from Skyhooks?
Well, there's a thread behind it. I had a band called the Stone Cold Boners that were really big in the I guess the 90s would have been, and the band was made up of a lot of other great musicians from other bands. So we had both Brett Kingman and Scotty Kingman both came through. They Scotty had his band Horsehead at the time. Jed Starr was in the band for a while. He had a band called Star World. Um, anyway, so the band was made up of people who had other, and I had a band called Mr. Universe as well. We were signed to Mushroom, and so we got together to have some fun, and we had to take make it sort of taking the piss out of everything, so it wouldn't affect our original kind of profiles, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I invented names for everyone. And I said, look, this is only going to work if we just do the stupidest songs and act stupid and just really take the piss and have a great time. So the that character grew from that band, and we did songs like Kung Fu Fighting and all those sort of really cheesy disco songs that were completely untouchable in those days. So now they've sort of become cool again in a way, but back then, it was like taboo to do disco music. So that's exactly where I went with it. Um, the Eugene Hamilton sort of experience has grown out of that band and that attitude.
That's good. That segues into another question I was going to ask is it's a very eclectic set of songs you play
Mm.
across all genres. What, how do you pick out a song that's going to go into your set?
Um, well, I have a great, great love of music and the history of music, and I've got a sort of encyclopedic sort of record collection and all the conversations I have with people about this artist and that album and this period in music. And my brother is a big music fan, and we often get together and just play records and talk about stuff. So I want to draw from every possible source, not just just take one sort of genre. I know that. So it's just like a spark just happens. I hear something and I go, oh, that would sound good like this. Or put those two songs together. Like our latest mashup is Whole Lotta Love, Led Zeppelin, with Crazy in Love by Beyonce. And they just segue together so beautifully. Um, and there's got to be, I always try to look for something that's got some kind of cheeky element to it where you're sort of, this is iconic stuff that you shouldn't be messing with. And that's when I want to mess with it, like Bob Dylan and Serge Gainsbourg mashup and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just got to have that fun vibe. But as you know, the band's incredibly talented, and so it's got to be. it's got to have some serious clout as well. For if any musicians are there watching it, they'll be going, "Geez, wow, I can't believe they did that." Kind of. That's what I'm going for, to cover all those bases with the
Yeah, I
band.
hear what you're saying, mate,
Mm.
because again, we're sort of leading into each other. Another question is it's Eugene Hamilton and the Money. Can you tell
Mhm.
us who's in your band and what they play?
All right. Well, the lineup sort of floats around a little bit, but basically it's John McCall on the keyboards, and he's toured with everyone on earth. In fact, he's just coming back from a European tour with the Black Sorrows, but he's played with Isaac Hayes, for example, and Kenny Rogers. Like, so he's the kind of guy that just gets called up. We need a piano player. He can just walk into any situation and do it. He can play country honky tonk piano. He is classical jazz. He's released about, I think, 4 or 5 of his own albums under the name Black Money. John McCall's Black Money. So that's one. Chris Parahar on the bass guitar, who he played for many years with Ross Wilson, and other, Australian acts. I've got a good story about Chris. This is his sort of talent level. We went on a tour together, just some little, you know, um, corporate kind of gig tour, and he's left-handed bass player, and his bass player was wrecked, so he turned up to the airport without a bass, and he said, what are you going to do? He said, I'll just hire one when we get to each town. I'll just go to the local shop and hire one. Of course, no one's got left-handed basses to hire, so he just plays a right-handed bass upside down, and you couldn't even hear the difference.
Yeah,
You
wow.
couldn't hear the difference. He's just got that mathematical musical brain where it just clunk it the other way. Oh yeah, that's right. And then do it. So, and uh, on the drums we have Hayden Meggett. He's plays with the Lost Ragas. With what's his name? That great slide player,
Matt Walker?
guitarist, Matt Walker. With Matt Walker. Um, he also he's often touring. He plays with Bachelor Girl. He's been playing with Ross Wilson once again. Got a band called Fools. Anyway, he's just a multi-talented, great drummer, great singer. That's the other thing. Everyone in the band pretty much can sing beautifully. So we get the 3-4 part harmonies on a lot of what we do. Shane Ryle is our guitarist. He's just another one of those guys. It's a very demanding gig to do the Eugene gig, because you need to have all your jazz chops down to do the clean jazz sort of playing, but you've got to know how to stomp on a distortion pedal and rock, and that's a hard thing. We had Marty Lubrin in the band for many years, who was great at that, and Shane can do it too. So he's great with all the country funky stuff, and he's one of those guys that everybody in Melbourne would probably know the name Shane Ryle. He's been around for a long time, played with a lot of people. We have Tibor Japias on the trumpet. He was part of that tour, the Etta James show. He toured around the UK and Europe and Australia with that. He plays with everyone. Great trumpet player, great performer too. All these guys are great performers. They've got great stage presence. And for this gig that we're doing up at the Way Out West, we've got John Clark on percussion. He's lives in Yarraville, but he is an incredible percussionist, and he's got all the tricks. In fact, he hires stuff out to orchestras. He's got the whole thing. But he has actually toured with Shirley Bassey and Engelbert Humperdinck.
Oh,
Really, and he's got some great stories about those two to tell too. So all the guys that we sort of end up just sort of gravitating towards each other with this great love of music, wanting to do it really, really well, but also getting the humor behind what we do as well, and making the most of that. So it's a very light-hearted, experience coming to being in the Eugene Hamilton band and coming to the gig. And people say to me, oh, what do you want me to do? And I said, look, just let it all hang out.
yeah.
Just fire at will. Do whatever you want, Or there's maybe little bits that has to be exactly right. But when it comes to soloing or putting your own colour on something, just fire at will. which is great fun.
Yeah. Now I know that you come out wielding a golf club sometimes.
Mhm.
Do you actually play? And if you do, what's your handicap?
No, I don't play golf. No, I
Okay.
don't. It's just a gag prop, that you just come straight off the golf course. Because Eugene Hamilton, of course, is the richest man in the world, but very sort of, I think it's sort of the golf sort of represents that real sort of privileged, um, you know, life. The golf, there's something about a golf club and golf courses and, you know,
Yeah.
golf carts and all that sort of represents something that Eugene is trying to take the piss out of,
Yeah.
But,
Good.
but
We
it's a
need to
great
take
prop. You can spin it around and
we need to take the piss out of Donald Trump's golfing
oh,
efforts. That's what we need to
oh,
do.
apparently he would have won the world champion every
Yeah.
single year if he wasn't too busy doing other stuff. Um, but the other thing is, like, you just walk on stage with a simple prop like a golf club, and immediately everyone in the room goes, "Oh, this is something I haven't seen before. This is going to be good. Or, I get it." Straight away, you've cracked the eggshell a little bit of an audience.
Yeah.
You
Now
can
we
see
can
there's
see
people laughing already.
we can see some of your magnificent wardrobe behind you. Where do you
Mhm.
source that sartorial splendor there, mate?
Well, believe it or not, it's all pretty much from op shops.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I'll buy some stuff off eBay. Occasionally, I'll um, see something I just have to have, and all the best stuff is overseas. Like, but most of it, like the vast majority of it, would be just from op shops. But as you know, this stuff it's really old now, so there's less and less and less of it in the op shops, and you've got to just go to 100 op shops and you might get one
Yeah.
thing. But when you do get it, it's great. Even garage sales that you can see on Facebook Marketplace occasionally, or garage sales. I've got these. Can you see them?
Oh wow.
I got them
Yeah.
off a
Something like
garage sale that
um,
somebody put up on Facebook Marketplace.
something like Slade in that.
Yeah, I know that, but that is the real deal. Made in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Incredible. So there is still stuff out there, and it's still fun, to find stuff
Yeah.
and fun to wear it. And
I first saw you guys over at the Dogs Bar, and it took me a couple of songs to go, oh, okay, I get this. But if you spot a newbie in the audience, can you see a look on their face of what the fuck's this?
yeah, I can. You can, and you can see like you can see them slowly being won over, and then you can see then I think every time a song starts, they're all waiting to see if they can work out what is it, what song is this, what is it, what is it, and then when you sing that one line that they recognize, or you get to the chorus and they go, "Oh my god, it's that!" I touch myself.
Yeah.
And we like to throw the genres around. I know there's a band called Postmodern Jukebox that are huge. I mean, I have to say this: we were doing what we were doing before I saw them or heard them. But they tend to take a whole lot of different songs and generally do them in the same genre. We take ours. Our approach is to do lots of different genres and turn them into lots of different genres. So our show goes from rock, funk, soul, jazz, blues, Motown, klezmer, country and western, and western, and it's just like a ping pong ball from the history of recorded music, just flying around the room and
Yeah.
in 1,000 directions.
It's sensational. Now, I know you've got a fantastic voice, and we spoke about your hot band, but one of your show is one big party. How important to the show is the audience participation for you guys?
It's huge. It's huge, and it's so satisfying, people walk away from one of our shows and they feel good. I think I get endorphins and adrenaline coming in. I try to use techniques that aren't really, they're either really cliched and I'm deliberately using the cliche and everyone knows it, or I'm just coaxing them slowly out of themselves, you know, and gently sort of massaging the room and getting the things flowing sort of without trying to shove it down people's throats, if you know what I'm saying, even though I do walk
Yes.
on stage with a golf club in an outrageous outfit. I mean, there's a thing, you know, people can say, how's everybody feeling? Yeah. And I just don't do that. You know, I think you sort of, every gig has to have a sort of narrative curve. You start here at the start of the story, and it slowly builds, and then there's a crescendo at the end. You don't just come on and try to force everyone to have a good time. You just let it happen. You create the petri dish, and then you let the mold grow, you know, as it will.
I would think that you would have a really incredible loyal following of fans as well that would travel anywhere to see you play.
Yeah, there is that as well. There is the Eugene Army who do follow us around, and they're great. Obviously, they're in because they get it, you know, and they love it. But the greatest thing is to see new people and win them over, you know. And you can see like some cynical, tough old bastard up the back, you know, going, oh, you know. But then you just, by the end of it, you've just beaten them.
Yeah.
They go, I can't fight this anymore. It's too good, you know. And the band's kind of tough too. It's a pretty tough band, you know. It really knows how to rock, you know. There's no backward steps, sort of, on stage. They're all strong, really strong personalities and strong players, and very funny. The conversations we have in the band room are very, very funny and very interesting too. They're all very well read, you know, erudite people who have lots of discussions about politics and history. And
I seen you again at the Spotswood Festival that sort of got cancelled and didn't get cancelled, and you guys went and played in the pub. And I was with a group of people that, you know, blues people are pretty anal when it comes to, if it's not blues, I'm going. But you're exactly right. By the end of the day, these diehard blues people are going, you got to get them at Way Out West. You got to get them at Way Out West. You know,
that's great.
And as far removed from blues as you can get, but it was just such a party atmosphere. It was just sensational, mate. I really liked it.
And those blues guys would really appreciate the guitar playing. They go,
exactly
that
right.
He's a great guitarist.
Yeah. He's got some licks, all right.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I love to do. Win over those sort of people.
Yeah, because sometimes people can get they can treat music too seriously sometimes. You know, it's a fun thing as well, and we've got to realise that. So yeah, I hear what you're saying, mate. So we're finally getting to see you on Sunday the 11th of August, 2 p.m. What can we expect on the day? Have you got any little surprises for us? Although you did say we got a new percussionist.
Yeah, well, so yeah, the Flying Fists of John Clark. That'll be a surprise. Tibor's away for this gig, so he'll sort of filling that space. We've got a couple of new arrangements that we might be unleashing upon you. We do this is probably timely because of Celine Dion's great comeback at the Olympic Games. Yeah. But we do the theme from Titanic, you know, in my heart you go on, the famous one. But we do that as if it was recorded by Mick and Keith in like 1972. It's sort of like Dead Flowers kind of country rock, but it's that song, and I think it's got 5 key changes in it, something like that. We do the full we go the full fretboard, and we end up an octave than what we started, but we're back on an E again.
Cool, man.
Um,
So,
so that's a fun journey. It's a hazardous trip though, like the
yeah,
Titanic.
yeah,
It
that's right. um,
does occasionally hit a reef,
yeah.
iceberg actually.
Well,
So,
we are a sort of a port town, so that's important. Um, that's about all I've got,
yeah,
Eugene. Thanks for taking the time to have a chat. I really do appreciate it, and we're so looking forward to seeing you at the club. And I can't wait to see what ensemble you're going to be wearing.
yes. Well, you can see behind me, I've got quite a lot to choose from.
Exactly right.
So it does take me quite a while to decide, but I always make sure it's you know
Do you have
it's
someone to
pleasant to
help?
the eye.
Do you have someone to help you dress, or you're a
A
solo
wardrobe
dress?
assistant.
A wardrobe
No, I
assistant.
wouldn't. I just don't trust anyone else with my precious garments.
So thanks again, mate. I really enjoy it, and we're really looking forward to it. We're going to have a lot of fun. Thank you
I look
very
forward to
much.
seeing you there.
Thanks,
Fantastic.
man.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.